All right, we'll start with the bottom hand. Normally one is kind of more dominant than the other. And my tendency, again, like I've talked about before, is rolling over. So usually one of the hands tends to roll over the first few. So what I'm going to try to do is just hit some low, hard line drives over that shortstop. I like to kind of isolate that hand, put the other hand on the chest, choke up a bit if you need to, if it's a bigger bat, and then just let it go. So, bottom hand's feeling pretty good. Let's see how the top hand goes. Next thing we're going to do is use a little bit bigger but still a small bat, and all we're going to try to do is hit some short, hard line drives to that shortstop. I'm just going to keep the bat path nice and efficient to the ball, and again, just kind of progressing the intensity just a little bit. Okay, good. Now again, I'm not swinging super hard. I'm just swinging nice and light. I just want to make sure that everything is moving the right way before I increase the intensity. We're going to do a little bit more with the legs now, so I'll do a couple of drills just to get into my legs and sort of feel what they need to feel. But again, just still keeping the intensity super low. First one I'm going to do is a step back drill. So all I'm going to do is pretty much get into my regular stance, but I'm going to step just a little bit further with that left foot up. And all I'm going to kind of do is step back and sink into that backside and really feel the weight transfer. It also helps me when I go to get into my load and stride, I don't shift forward. It just helps me stay on that backside a little bit. I'm barely swinging there. And again, the ball's coming off nice and hot because everything's efficient, everything's working properly. I used to, just like a lot of young kids, I used to just get on the tee and just let it rip right away. And yeah, I might have some hard exit velocities, but it's not consistent. So I'm looking for consistency right now over like exit velocity. We'll get into that later, but for right now, I'm just trying to create the right ball flight and just be super consistent with it. Next one we're going to do is the Kershaw drill. This is one of my favorites. I've done it in the past videos. Again, just kind of helps me get to that balance point and then just stay back in the stance. All right, next one I like to do is just a load and stride and get into my launch position, and then I like to just attack the ball from a standstill. Just kind of helps me get that quick twitch going and go from 0 to 100. I'm not going to go to 100, but I'm going to give it a nice aggressive swing. So now that my body's kind of warm and my swing's feeling pretty good, now I like to do my sort of location hitting, so inside, middle, out, as well as my low and high tee. I like to feel different heights of pitches, just so when I get into batting practice with the machine, I'm not surprised by the pitch up or surprised by the pitch low. My body's already used to getting there. So we'll do a couple up. I like to go way off the plate just to give myself some room to be out in front. Aye. One more. Now normally I'd like to use a little bit shorter of a tee, but this is all we got for now, so we're just going to go as low as we can go on the tee, and I'm going to stay outside. Still having a problem pulling off a little bit, so we're just going to work on that outside pitch a bit before I start ripping it pull side. One more. Whenever I'm pulling off, I kind of like to just exaggerate the finish and holding that position throughout impact, and then just keeping my head in that zone after for a second before I look up, just so I eliminate that need to pull off. All right, just like off the tee, I like to start my front toss with a little bit of progression. So I'm just going to start load and stride, and then just try to hit some line drives to the shortstop. So get in the stance, load, stride. Oh! Oh, one more. Just gonna do a few Kershaws again. I like the feeling of it, so see if we can just stay back and just, again, try to drive that ball the other way. I'm sort of getting under it. I think my posture's a little bit too over the plate. So I'm just gonna try to stay nice and tall, get on top of that ball a little bit. There we go. Can you go a little bit more outside? Go. Again, decently happy with those first few rounds. I'm not really worried about the result. I'm worried more about just going through the process of getting my body ready to swing at a higher intensity and to be consistent. So now I'm just going to let it rip, but I'm still going to start hitting everything to the opposite field. I really want to keep working on staying inside that ball, staying back, and just having a bit more pop to that opposite field. Just out over the plate if you can. I'm going to try to get it a little bit more out in front here, but still stay out over the plate, drive it to left. Oh. That's the best one yet. It's a brutal swing. Okay, first round of machine here. A couple things I see with young hitters is, number one, just taking massive hacks on their first round, and number two, being upset with the results of the first round. The first round of anything, whether it's BP, front toss, machine, don't be so results focused. Just focus more on the process and like seeing the pitch, getting your timing, getting your rhythm. The results will come that way, but if you get up there and just start hacking right away and don't get your timing or rhythm, you're not going to be very successful. So don't worry so much about the results, just worry about the process of getting ready. And in the next 2 or 3 rounds, then you can start being a little bit more results focused. Oy. Okay, ready to go. Oh, man. All right, I feel like I got my timing here, so let's take some bigger hacks and try to hit some deep shots in the gaps. That one felt good. Ouch. Stay through it. Oh, so early. Coming. Okay, last round on the machine here for me. I still sort of have this little mental block where I can't swing as hard as I'd like. I don't know whether it's my previous back injury, the fact that I don't want to break this bat, or I don't want to get my thumb blown up, or a combination of all three, but I'm going to let it rip a little bit on this last round. Oh, I just missed it. That one I got. Oh, I just missed it again, and I'm not swinging hard enough. Let it go. Hard. I'm like thinking about swinging hard and super aggressive, and then I'm like, it's not exactly what I'm looking for, and I'm slowing it down just to try to make contact instead of like, I'd rather not be afraid to swing through a pitch or or just, I mean, like you said, just take it. But I need to commit to swinging fully and not just trying to make contact when it's not exactly where I think it's going to be. I had that problem in games where I'd slow my swing down just to make contact instead of like either committing to swinging through it, because I'd rather be down a strike than roll over to the second baseman. Ah! 52. One more good one. $105.5.